Hi, welcome back to Melanin Madam, my Crown Royals. Tonight we are going to be doing Never Have I Ever. So you guys submitted your little things. So I am going to go through them and take half a shot because it's not working. Because there's a lot of questions. So I'm going to do 10 really quickly and then we will go from there. And I don't know why. Okay, I think I can see comments now. Perfect. So I am going to go ahead and do 10. So phone's right here. I will start with, it looks like one like just came in. And I will be doing it with 1800. Let's see. So one of them is never have I ever had an OS. I don't know what that is. So I can't drink and I can't say I haven't done it. I don't know what that is. Let's see. The next one is, I think it's just smoke. Never have I ever smoked. And if that's the case, they're probably talking about 420. So I will have to. Oh, sorry, that's loud. I should have took the top off first. And whoever submitted these and played along, hopefully you're drinking too. So here we go. I should have taken an allergy pill because I got pineapple and I'm allergic to it. Okay, let's see. Next question, or next thing. Never have I ever cheated on the test. I have not. And I'm answering all these questions from grown up. I don't even think I did in school. I'm scary. Let's see. Never have I ever posted a thirst trap. First of all, whoever said this is lying, okay? Because everybody that posts on social media is posting because you want attention, you want somebody to say something, you want acknowledgement. So everybody has posted. Thirst trap, is that the ones where you show your butt? That's all you do is show your butt? Because if that's the case, no, I don't think I have. Looks like I'll be able to answer more questions. So whoever put this one, you must know me. Okay. Never have I ever stayed up until morning. I haven't even been asleep. How about that? What's today? So I will drink a shot. Hopefully y'all drinking with me. Mm. Mm. Our pineapple's really good. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you could reply. So for each one that I take, if I remember, not if I remember, when I'm done, I'll go back and reply and say thank you for participating. I actually got a lot. So this person must know me too. It must want me drunk. It's okay. I think it's Friday. I think it's Friday. So never have I ever gotten a tattoo. And if you guys are watching, don't come in my house and don't say hi. Speak. Let me know who's here. Gotten a tattoo. I have 3 here. My first godson and a bear. And then my first goddaughter. And then what do they call it? A tramp stamp or something like that. In my lower back. And then I have a tattoo right here. And then I have a really big one in the middle. And I have one on my foot. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna be laying on the bed. I ain't gonna make it to the hot tub. Okay. Who doesn't have a tattoo these days? Mm-mm. Mm. Never have I ever slid into DMs. I haven't. Even before I was married, I didn't. Like, I didn't even reach out to Usher. Okay. Hey, girl, hey. Let's see. Never have I ever cried at school. How? You should have cried at school. Let me tell you how you should have cried at school. You should have cried because you were sleeping. You didn't want to be there. You should have cried because how dare you give us this pop quiz. You should have cried because you wrote a 25-page paper and left it at home. You should have cried for a lot of things. You probably didn't. Did you go to higher education? Don't do this. Cried at school as an adult? I don't think I have. So, never have I ever pooped in public. My best guess would be it's still a bathroom. However, you're talking about using a public facility. And in that case, I have. I'm gonna be laying on the bed. Watch. Okay. Let's see. This one is gonna be real fast tonight. Kind of happy about that. Never have I ever done a nasty. Me neither. Never. I'm a virgin. Can you prove it? Do I have any children? I do not. I ain't birthed no babies. So I could very well be a virgin. That's gonna be my 2023 lie. That I'm a virgin. Let's see. Never have I ever punched someone. Who wrote this? I grew up in Pomona. Of course I punched someone. A lot of times. And whoever wrote this probably did too. How about that? Okay, let's see. At this point, my eyes is crossed. So, never have I ever punched someone. If you've done it, make sure you take a shot too. And again, when you enter, say hi. Let me know you're here. I like to know who's supporting me and where I can say thank you. And I sometimes send out gifts just because I appreciate you. Never have I ever ratted on someone. Whoever wrote this is probably a rat. They probably are. No. I never ratted on somebody because here's the thing. Let me tell you. And I think I talked about it last night on the show. Even if I see something and it's inappropriate, I'll just tell the person, like, to clear it up or whatever. I give them the opportunity to fix it before I say something. And I'll have to say, like, in every situation, it's worked out that way, where the person went ahead and told whatever they was doing. Because here's the thing, I'm not a fake person, right? Okay? So, if you are around me with your girl or your dude, and then you bring somebody else, don't disrespect me like that. And I've always been that way. I'm not going to be rude to the person, but I'm also not going to be welcoming. And every female knows that's code for it must be something going on. So she gonna ask questions on the way home anyway. But how bold are you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So no. And then as far as ratting on someone for anything else, even as an HR manager, I would tell the person first because I don't like that wow factor, right? So when you're at work and they're about to write you up or whatever they're about to give to you, they have done their research, talked to people, written it out, make sure that it's legally compliant and all of those things, got their ducks in a row, right? And then they call you into the office and you sit down and they're like, oh, we know all of this. And they want you to have an answer right away. Like, I never thought that was fair because we had time to do our research and everything. Let them digest what they just heard, number one. And then number two, give them the same amount of time that you took because it's just not fair. So a lot of times I would give like a heads up to let them know. And here's the thing, as an HR manager, I operated kind of like I do with the kids, right? So if you do something, attendance, let's use attendance. If you know that the policy, because I've always worked in call centers, is that you have 12 occurrences, call outs, to use within a year, and you have used 13, and the policy says you'll get a written warning, you'll get a written warning. Like it's not a surprise, right? And so what I did with my employees, and it's really, I'm very thankful for the employees that I had. I really am, because of how much they trusted me. Um, they would take their write up because they knew when they did it what was going to happen. So it's just what it is, right? So just like we tell our kids to suck up, whatever they have done and take the consequences for it, we have to as well, right? If there is a policy in place and you don't follow that policy, you already know that it's coming. So why go back and forth with anybody, right? And then the other thing is, let me tell you, because I'm from Pomona, okay? At first, I did have a lot of males worked under me. So I've always had positions in call centers where there were males attached. And so when I worked at Cox Automotive, they brought on Kelly Blue Book, Auto Trader. Everybody knows what that is, right? And so in the back of our office was where they kept all the very, very expensive cars. And one looked like Batman. It was dope as hell. Let me tell you. And they kept boats down there, so it was underground, right? But then also back there was where they worked on the Audis and all that stuff, because when you bought a car from an auction, you could do things to it. So there was a lot of males. So also in plumbing, all males, right? They apparently talked to their women, however. And so when I first got the role, I was 20, I think I was 25. I think I was 25, and for whatever reason, they thought that, they could talk to me how they talk to whomever. So what I would do, I'll tell you what I would do. Okay, I would tell them, I would, let them F this, F that, why did this happen? Where's my check? Blah, blah, blah. And sit there like this. And then I would start rubbing my ears, because that's my calming thing. I rub my ears. And then I would say, now that you've got that off your chest, I don't know who you think you're talking to. So go out of my office and come back. And then when you get back, you can tell me what's wrong. And I'll listen to you. And how about, I'll even let you cuss, because I'm from Pomona. I get it. And I'm a realist, right? We're all adults. So if something happens that you don't like, you're probably going to cuss. And yes, I was the HR manager, but I'm still realistic. I don't do all the other stuff people do. HR has become like the police department, so much corruption, but I digress. I would allow them to come in and say what they needed to say, but they would have to say it respectfully, right? That's what I would do. So I didn't even snitch on them for doing the things that they did, because you don't turn in your time card, how am I going to know what to pay you, right? And the law says, here's a little tidbit before I go, in California, that if you don't turn in a time card or anything at all, that HR or payroll, whoever does the payroll, is supposed to estimate that you have worked 40 hours at least and pay you for the 40 hours, right? So the problem was let's just say HVAC, which is air conditioner, those men would work like 12 hours a day, but if you don't turn it in, how am I going to know, right? So I paid what I legally needed to pay to make sure that you had a check. And then here's the other thing about the yelling. What are you yelling for? Because I have pay cards in my desk right now, and I can literally go on the computer and run your check. So things like that, I think that was my worst thing, that if it was going to be something to write about, it would probably be that. But I didn't. I used it as an opportunity to build a relationship, right? People don't think about that. Like, everybody comes from a different place. Yes, I was raised in the hood. I'm very hood. Okay. That is why I actually think that I've done so well in education, because of how much I learned, right? Those of us that are 80s babies, and probably 70s too, you knew how to go get a money order, pay the rent, come home and cook dinner for you and your siblings. Make sure the house was clean. Wake up on Saturday mornings with your family and clean up before you do whatever you want to do. Make sure everybody's homework is done. Like, you were literally a baby uh, Mother Earth. So whatever your mother did, you were literally a baby of that. And so with that comes maturity, right? So we started gaining wisdom very early. And I paid attention because I thought I don't know why, y'all. I thought it was so cool when you could write a check and pay a bill. I am a true nerd at heart. I love being able to pay my bills on time and not being pink, right? I love being able to take care of myself because it just feels really good. So, pointer right here. Okay, message. If you make enough, especially in California, to pay your bills and give your children some of the things that they want, pat yourself on the back. You're a really good parent. You're doing the best that you can. And that, I will tell you, will go far, right? If you raise your kids to have morals and values. I didn't have every single thing that I wanted growing up, but what I got, I held on to for so long, and I remember, and it's just a special place in my heart, right? So those are the things that your kids will remember. So don't be so hard on yourself, because then you'll miss the opportunity to just be with your children, love on your children, and also pat yourself on the back. It's not easy to be, it's not easy to take care of things when you don't have kids. So with having children, when Skylar and Kiera was in the house, it's a little bit different. It's hard. It's hard. So if you're able to instill values in your children and give them some of their wants that they have earned, then pat yourself on the back. You are a good parent. Don't be so hard on yourself, because I can attest to, I tell my mother all the time that I think she was a phenomenal mom. I really do. And especially not having a mom from the age of 10, I think I've shared that with you guys before, that um, my grandmother decided not to be here when my mom was 10 and the twins were 1. I don't know how old everybody else is. I just remember those two things. They stick in my head. Um, so coming from a place where you don't have anybody to teach you how to be a mom or how to do certain things. Yes, there were areas where she lacked, but there were areas that she was so amazing that it compensated for that, right? And then as a kid too, and an Aquarius woman, being observant, right? So I could see my mom trying so hard. I could see the love that she gave. So the fact that she wasn't extra huggy, yes, I said huggy. It's okay. Stop nailing your parents to the cross for the things that they did when they were raising you, because there's no book. There's no book. Even those of you that say, well, you would understand if you had kids. You don't understand if you have kids. Okay? Every day is something different. And those little people, let me tell you about my goddaughter, okay? Before we go. Just talking about snitching. I'll snitch right now. That little girl has been gone for a week, right? With her grandma and then up the hill or whatever. I personally hate it when she goes up the hill, okay? Because she comes back all whiny and all of this stuff. So I had to make her come and give me a hug and say hello. And then after we was done, because I talk to my kids like they're mature, mature and asking for the things they ask for. So I was talking to her and she was just looking down and just moaning like a baby. So if it's one thing you're gonna learn about me, is that when I say something, I mean it. Okay? So she not talking to nobody. Like, she literally got an attitude and she is 4. So I told her, I said, your godmom don't have no sense. So if you acting like this, for 30 days, I'm going to act like this with you. And I said, you know what? Make it 32, because I'm tired of your attitude. She know I ain't playing. I'm telling y'all, these kids are something else. Okay? And I don't know what is compelling me to talk about the motherhood thing, but a lot of, I'll end with this because I'm going to end soon. I've been revamping a lot of things. I have a graphic designer. The scheduling for my shows and what they will look like is all being scoped out to align with Poetic Ghost Productions, which is my production company. So I have a new company, and glory to God, we are full, and it's just so many blessings coming our way. I will share. Don't tell nobody that I told you this, because I only share things with Crown Royals. Okay, ready? We even got a story of a trial that's going on right now that CNN wants, and they don't want CNN to do it. They want us to do it because they want somebody to do it that's from that place, can understand, and will respect, right, what the story is really about. And so I'll end with what this year is going to be about is fully living in my brand. Okay. And that's everything. So I'm going to be sharing business tips, how to start a business. I'm going to be sharing the clothes that you should wear for your shape and size. I'm going to be sharing beauty tips and beauty hacks to look natural. I'm going to be sharing things about the world that are real, because there's a lot of emphasis on protect our king, but not protect our queen. And the reality is numbers don't lie. Unfortunately, we are at the bottom, but as my CEO of my organization would say, yes, they are there, but let's make it clear. They're probably the ones helping that executive. They're probably the ones doing all of that work. And so what I am going to do, and this is what my executive said, for the next 5 years, I am going to ensure that if there is a woman that is Black, that is applying for a role, she's capable, she has all of the qualifications, she's going to get that role. Okay. And in the comments, of course, because they're anonymous, isn't that discrimination? He said, I don't care. We keep talking about how there's a gap between what Black women make and what everybody else makes. And there's also a gap in the roles that we will get, right? So I'm pretty sure if you have worked in anything corporate, if you're a Black woman, and please comment below, even if you watch this 10 years from now, to some degree, you're doing your manager's work. So you're the one that should actually have that role. But they want her to be the face, right? And get all the credit. And what my CEO of my organization or president has said is that is not going to occur anymore. That he sees it and he is going to fix it. That alone made me not apply for another job anywhere else. I'm staying and retiring from here, because to acknowledge that, how many times has a Black woman really been acknowledged by somebody that's not Black because he's Mexican? It's just not there. And then the crab in a bucket thing is there, where women are afraid of other women and to highlight them. Well, let me tell you something about Madam. I'm not afraid to highlight anybody. I know who I am no matter what I go through. I know who I am. I am not insecure. I am not afraid. I am not any of those things, because I know who I am and I stand in who I am. And so you can see by the people that I've had on, their numbers are better than mine. They're doing more things. But what I can tell you is that even in having them on the show, right, creating this platform for specifically for African American women, all are welcome, because you know how we do. All are welcome, but to really highlight African American women, and then plus size as well, because we unfortunately don't get treated like humans for whatever reason. But I digress. That'll be another video. I've had amazing people on, and you want to know why? Because those amazing people I pay homage to. It's okay. You don't have to be in the lead role. You can be the tail sometimes, and the tail is just as important. Every role is important. So what I would like, and I will end with this, is for every African American female to think about somebody that has made a difference in your life, not a celebrity, right? Because I can see everybody making sure they like everything in the comments, but you're too busy to do it for your friend. It's just a button. But I digress. That's another show. What I would like for you to do is reach out to her. Reach out to her and tell her why you think she's amazing and what it has translated to in your life. That's what I want you to do. I want more of that. And that is why I created this brand. And so what you will see from me is not only women that are doing amazing things and that they should be highlighted, right? But also men, because there are a lot of men that appreciate a Black woman, that support, protect, understand a Black woman. And I want us to see more of that, because media is feeding us something different. And it's really messing with our brains to make us believe that we are at the bottom of the totem pole. And we're not. We're not. If you look at the numbers, we are the most entrepreneurs. Why? Because you wouldn't give me that seat. I created my own seat. Okay? Because that's how smart we are. So what I want us to do is live in us, circle around us, and never have to complain about not being invited to another award show or anything like that, because we'll have our own space. Okay? So I'm going to highlight everybody. If I see you and I love what you're doing, I'm going to highlight you and you're going to be on the show. Again, I know who I am and I know why I'm the way I am. Always pay homage. Always. It means something. I don't care if the person is younger. Pay homage. It's respectful and it's the right thing to do, because you want to hear good things, right? So make sure that you pass those good things along to a woman that may need to hear it, because we don't hear it quite often. We don't. And my brother said it last night, that because we deal with so much and take so much and still get up and do, that when we actually say, I'm waving a white flag, I need help, it's like, she's so crazy. She'll be okay. Where it should be, dang, like she never asked for help. Let me make sure that I help her. So we want to change that. So that's what this platform is about. I'll do a whole video about what my brand is about, because I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people and I would love for them to accept being on my show. So that is it for tonight. Thank you for joining the Never Have I Ever. I had questions on this phone and then on this phone, so I read these. I'll actually answer the other ones via text. But thank you so much to everybody. I literally got over 30 responses, which is good. And celebrate your numbers too. If you're out there and you're in the media space, celebrate your numbers. It's things that happen behind the scenes. Like, I got my first Instagram check, and that was amazing to me. The bad thing, and I promise I'll end with this, is that I didn't want to post it because I didn't want anybody to start being mean to me. Okay. So I too have experienced when people think you've reached a certain level, they start to treat you bad. And I don't understand why, because if I'm praying for you, right? You say, oh, pray for me, I need this. I will literally stop and pray for you. And I'll make sure that I keep praying for you. So when your blessing comes, all I could do is shout, because I'm so happy that my answer, my prayer helped for you to get what you need, right? Isn't that what's supposed to happen? You're supposed to feel good because God answered your prayer. You prayed for that person. But instead, people will gather and you won't be included in things. You'll be left out. It'll be all kind of things. And let's just be honest. All that I don't care is this, is that. You do care. You care, because all of us want to be loved. The most therapeutic thing is a real hug, right? So it's real. So I will ask you in 2023, let's reset, right? Because a person that is of good character is always willing to reset if it's not something that what my list is, right? Reconcile those relationships, because if that person is gone, there's nothing you could do after that. Reconcile that relationship, because I'm pretty sure it's kind of silly, right? With the way that the world is going now and the rate that people are not here, I personally don't want to be at a funeral for someone knowing that I didn't rectify things that I could. Now, what I can say is my caveat is a little bit different, because I've always been the one to apologize or just start talking again or jump back in. Where I am now, I expect a conversation. And I won't be the one to reach out. And I won't be the one to reach out because there's a thing called accountability. Hi, Nini. There's a thing called accountability. And I see what men say when they say that Yes, make it right because regret sucks. I have seen somebody regret how they treated somebody and then that person passed away. And so in addition to mourning, they also had the guilt on them and it ate them alive. Um, I can't imagine. You know what I appreciate that God has done for me is that most of the people that I have lost, I had just talked to them. I had just told them that I love them. And so it was a little bit different. I don't have any regrets because I'll randomly send out messages to people and let them know that I love them. I'm thinking about you. I see you because it's important. It's important. And as much as you get into these cliches on social media and things like that, they're not real. They're not real. And if allowed, it's the devil's playground. And so my plea to you, okay, is to make things right if you can. If you cannot, at least make peace with it and don't be gossiping about people, talking about people. Um, I mean, we do a little bit because if somebody got on some wrong shoes, I'm gonna be like, now why you didn't put on your other shoes? But I will say it to them nicely, of course. But let's move into this new space, attacking the devil by doing things that he never expected us to do, by doing things that he didn't want us to do, by strengthening our soul, our spirit, because nobody is perfect, but you can do some pretty perfect things that get you some really good points. And they also make you feel good about yourself. Okay. So focus on people in 2023 so that when you say, never have I ever missed an apology. Okay. So that is it for me. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for sending your questions. Thank you for always supporting me. It truly means the world to me. Um, it means a lot, especially when I see people that I know, because that means that I was important to them. So before I cry, um, just be ready for the new year. We're going to do some amazing things, some amazing activities as well. So you guys have a wonderful night. Those that I see that are on here, um, I love you and Happy New Year. We made it. Amen. Have a good night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that you stay safe tomorrow and tonight and enjoy the new year. Good night.